Hello, today is a big day in a couple of ways for me. First of all, and which won't bother you guys so much, is that I am heading north of the border to Scotland to see some members of my family who I haven't seen for quite some time. So that's exciting. But what you might be more excited about is that on the way, I'm stopping off just south of Manchester to Ken Foster Cycles. And yes, it's the day where I finally take all your advice and test ride a Brompton G Line. Will I be happy with the decision I've made in buying the P Line? Will I have buyer's regret? And more importantly, how nervous is my wallet right now? Okay, we are just about arriving in Chorlton, home of the wheelies and home of Ken Foster Cycles as well. So the plan is, the parking isn't very good in the area really, so I'm going to find a side street and then just cycle to Ken Foster's. Luckily, of course, I have my own Brompton with me, so that's the plan. Let's see how it goes, and I'll bring you back once we're at the shop. Fellow Bromptoneer there. Is this the medium, is it? Or is it small?
Medium.
Medium, yeah.
Just take some details.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
You're not messing about, are you? You've even got the 12 speed.
Well, I know, yeah. This is sort of like a test. Because I convinced myself that it was the P Line that was ordered. But I'm thinking, I've had a couple of flips on that. And I'm thinking, would this be safer for me in a way?
And I'll tell you now, be prepared when you come back to get your wallet out and hand some money over, but that good.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, they're incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. There you go.
Right, lovely. Where do you suggest to go? The park?
Yeah. Out left, follow your nose, past McDonald's, past Tesco's.
Right.
Then left as you go over the bridge.
Lovely. You are very wicked people.
I tell everyone exactly the same thing.
I know.
They are incredible. These are mountain bike handlebars, so we've got the wide handlebars.
Yeah, it took me a while to get used to the extra width again.
Yeah, much better control then.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the roll compared to the normal. Oh, you've got the P Line anyway, so the roll on that's not too bad.
Yeah.
The roll on this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh dear. First, a word about the team at Ken Foster Cycles. Absolutely fantastic bike shop. Would recommend it to anybody to whom it's remotely local. Really know their stuff, really know about bikes, and a good old family bike shop. They're also a shower of bastards for making me like a bike too much. So what do I think? I was seriously unprepared to love the bike that much. I thought I'd get on board it, And I'd be going, yeah, it's a nice bike, but you know, so's my P Line, and yeah, it's not really that much in it, and it's heavier and all the rest of it. Blah blah blah. But as soon as I started pedaling it, it was like a light bulb going off, or coming on rather, above my head. And the word which overwhelmingly came to me at the time was safe. The first thing you notice about the G Line is the wider handlebars, particularly if you've been only riding a Brompton for the past few months. A normal Brompton, that is. You wouldn't think that would make much difference, but it does. It means that the stability of the bike is far superior. It's not as twitchy at all. It feels like, can I say, a normal bike. I would never dare to take both hands off the bars on riding a Brompton. It feels hairy enough sometimes lifting my arm off to indicate. With the G Line, well, I still probably wouldn't be riding it no-handed, because that's not my style, and I've got a bit of a record for health and safety. But indicating, you know, holding your arm out to indicate things like that, no problem at all. When I got into Chorlton Park, the next thing I noticed was just the difference in ride quality. There I was going over ruts and little potholes in the path, which I wouldn't have dared take the P Line anywhere near. I'd be weaving around them very, very judiciously. But with all but a few major potholes, I just ploughed through them absolutely indifferent, and the frame absolutely soaked it all up. No problem at all. And that thing about feeling safe and the confidence came to me when I came across a bit of the path inside the park, which was a bit windy and a bit sort of suddenly changing direction and a bit loose gravel on it. And without thinking, I lent the bike into the bend, as you would normally do with any other bike. But try that with a Brompton 16-incher, and you might well be toast. It's very easy to lose the grip. What about the weight? Well, I was pleasantly surprised, I have to say. Folding and unfolding, a bit of an experiment to do that in the park. That didn't really feel a lot more different. It felt a little bit more cumbersome, but not desperately so. And then just moving the bike about a bit with my hands when I got off to crossroads and stuff like that. That didn't feel overly heavy at all as well. It really wasn't the end of the world. And that was on a medium with a rack on it, which is probably the model. Now you see, I was about to say, which is probably the model I'd go for. Now I'm giving myself away a bit, aren't I? But yeah, it felt good. It felt really, really nice. And perhaps more importantly, it felt like it would last a long time on a long ride with it, which, with the best will in the world, I know people have done it, loads of touring all across the world on 16-inch Bromptons. Can it be done? Yes, it can. Is it a pleasant experience? Not really. I think the main thing this has brought to bear on me is the health and safety aspect of these things. I'm not exactly a spring chicken. If I were a spring chicken, I'd be a very plump and expensive spring chicken, more like an old turkey. That aside, I'm probably at the time of life when I need something as safe as possible. 5,500 people watched me crash spectacularly on that towpath down in Hertfordshire. But YouTube clicks are pretty much no consolation if it's going to put you off the road or stop you working. I have had a couple of other small dramas with the Brompton, with the P Line. At the time I put this down to the fact that, well, I'm older, I'm overweight, let's face it, and I'm just not had a lot of practice with cycling recently. All of those are true, but I think the light bulb which went on above my head as I climbed aboard the G Line was actually a lot of that probably wouldn't have happened if I was riding this bike. Brompton called the G Line the go anywhere bike, and by God, they are right. You know, I was worried that it would be too heavy, as I've already said. I was worried that it might feel huge when I folded it up, or that I'd have trouble getting it on and off trains. Actually, I don't see that as a problem. I don't perceive that as a problem. It's still plenty light enough to get around. I tend to roll the P Line around at stations anyway and take lifts, because why wouldn't you? But even if I had to pick it up and carry it over the odd rail bridge, that wouldn't be the end of the world. Yes, it takes up a little bit more room, so on trains you're probably more likely to be stuck in the vestibule with it, but in most cases that wouldn't really make that much difference, I don't think. It's always a balancing act with these things, and for me the balance is just better with the G Line. I think the big payoff was when I got back on the P Line to ride it back to the car. Only then did it hit me as to how narrow the handlebars were on the P Line and how much that affected the quality of the balance. That really does impact the handling of a bike far more than you'd think. So what happens next? Well, I think the P Line has to go up for sale, and it will be replaced by a G Line. Plus, once the path starts deteriorating slightly, you're not worried so much about how it will open. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know, this is a sign. So, as we follow this little omen of destiny, let me thank you all for watching. I'm sorry I'm falling off today. I know a lot of you seem to like that, but as I say, I'm getting to the age where no amount of clicks is worth being out of action for a long time. I'll let you know how it goes on. In the meantime, we're off for some more adventures in Scotland, and thank you for watching, and bye for now.